In the darkest vaults of Vatican history, there lies a page that has been ripped out, burned, and buried in ash. But the story did not die, because the ground still screams. This is not the story of a pope known for peace. This is not about faith, nor holiness. This is about obsession, blood, and a pope who believed that God would not speak unless a child burned. The year was 1477. Rome was rotting. The plague had returned. Rats bled in the streets. Priests chanted nonsense to an empty sky. People lined up to confess sins they hadn't committed, as if trying to bribe death itself. Enter Cardinal Aemilianus, brilliant, cold, unnaturally calm, a man whose sermons never mentioned love, only sacrifice. He believed heaven had gone silent, that humanity had fallen too far, and that only the sound of innocence perishing would open God's ears again. He rose through the church like a splinter through skin. By 1483, he was crowned pope, taking the name Innocentius IX, a bitter joke, if ever there was one. Whispers soon spread through the Vatican halls. The new pope rarely appeared in daylight. He held Mass at midnight, speaking in a tongue no one recognized, not Latin, not Greek, something older, something wet. Choirs were disbanded. Instead, he brought in infants from orphanages across Europe, dozens at first, then hundreds, only boys under 6 months. No one ever saw them again. The official story? Baptisms. The truth? Hidden in the Vatican's subterranean catacombs was a black chamber with walls made from melted bone. The Pope called it the Ember Choir. It had no doors, only a hole in the ceiling where smoke poured out like incense. Guards stationed above reported crying, then silence, then moaning, not from the children, but something deeper, as if the stones themselves wept. In 1490, a court physician named Leon Battista Ferrone was summoned to the papal apartments. What he saw shattered him. The Pope lay shirtless on a slab of ash, his skin covered in scars shaped like infant teeth. Carved into his chest, a spiral of names, all children. He spoke slowly, eyes wide. They must be untouched by the world. Their screams are pure, a frequency he hears. I am close. I saw a wing, just one, burning white. The physician begged to leave. The Pope smiled and gave him a gift. A velvet pouch. Inside it, the preserved tongue of a baby wrapped in gold thread. That night, the doctor hanged himself, but not before writing a note that simply read, "He has made a pact, but not with God." In the summer of 1492, a solar eclipse plunged Rome into midday darkness. That morning, the bell of St. Peter's Basilica rang for the first time in 3 years. People gathered in terror. The sky was wrong. Birds flew backwards. Blood leaked from the marble statues of saints. Pope Innocentius emerged, barefoot, cloaked in baby garments stitched together with gold. He wore a crown made of tiny fingers. Behind him, 12 cardinals wept openly, each carrying a torch. They marched into the Ember Choir. What happened inside? No one recorded, but the smoke that rose that day was thick and red. It curled into shapes. Wings, eyes, mouths that didn't close. The sun returned, but the screams never stopped. Even when the chamber cooled, the walls pulsed, like something still alive inside. That night, Rome fell silent. 2 weeks later, Pope Innocentius was gone. No funeral, no decree, just vanished. Some say he ascended. Others say the church had him bricked into the Ember Choir, left to rot beside the ones he offered. The Vatican declared him dead of plague. His name was erased from official records. His chambers were sealed in wax. But every 49 years, on the night of the eclipse, a single infant goes missing in Rome, always from within church walls, always 6 months old, and always last seen with a man in white robes, humming a lullaby that's not of this world. In 1977, a Vatican archivist named Father Duccio uncovered a sealed box while restoring ancient records. Inside, a cracked papal ring, a bone pendant shaped like a crying baby, and a charred journal with only one legible entry. I saw his face. It was made of screaming mouths, and he was beautiful. Father Duccio died of spontaneous internal combustion 4 hours later. The box was never found again, so now you know. There was a pope who burned infants, not for hatred, not for cruelty, but to force God to speak. And maybe he did. But if that's the God who answers, what does that say about the silence?